welcome to Colorado. We'd like to thank all you guys for coming. We look forward to getting to know all you guys. And in closing, really just welcome to the Brotherhood. Semper Fi, Devil Dogs.
About 2.5 years ago, I started the Lester Foundation after a gentleman named Clint Greer came through our Mile High Advanced Clinic. He's a 2-time Purple Heart Award winner, former Army Airborne, and just an impressive guy. He came through and said he was looking for a sense of purpose again and something to belong to again.
These guys need a transition. It's important. You know, most of these guys, all they've ever known is the Marine Corps. Catastrophic injuries, situations that they were put in, is now bringing that Marine Corps career to an end. They don't know anything else.
The Wounded Warriors are looking for some type of camaraderie, a band of brothers, in order to feel like they belong again.
That's real. It's a real thing. We share a bond that's unlike any other bond.
As Marines, we're kind of magnetized to each other. If we find out that we are Marines, we kind of just get magnetized to each other. That's all we got. We got each other.
Being an umpire kind of gives them that back.
Baseball, umpires, it's a tight-knit group, much like the Marine Corps. We are tight-knit. I know a lot of guys that I served with still today, still talk to them. And it's the same way with umpires. So I think it's a great segue. You're coming out of one brotherhood into another brotherhood that's got your back, and that's important.
When I got medevac, that was one of my major issues. I thought I was a pretty solid individual, but being snatched away from the unit, you miss that. You miss everything from having your brothers around to talk to having people around that can understand what you're going through.
A lot of us are transitioning, and some of us are transitioning that didn't ask to transition, weren't asking to get out of the Marine Corps. We wanted to stay in. So with transition being forced on you, you're kind of losing that brotherhood, or you feel like maybe you're losing that brotherhood. But with the brotherhood so tight that you have, and then you come out here and you see, Jim and Dan and some of the other guys, they have that brotherhood too with the umpires. So you kind of see, maybe there is life outside of this, or a brotherhood outside of this.
Coming out here and watching these gentlemen facilitate the classes and watch the way they interact and camaraderie, you can close your eyes and you think it was another Marine Corps unit. Like, they crack their jokes on each other, they talk about each other, they have fun, they enjoy what they do, and they get out there and they really have a passion for it. And that's what a lot of the Marines, we talked about a little while we were out here, and they were really excited about that, and they really enjoyed that aspect of it because it showed them that even though we can't go back in the fight the way we want to, there's still somewhere else we can go and feel just at home and enjoy ourselves and have a great life.
It's kind of relieving, like a breath of fresh air, like, it's other places as well. And if I can find that in umpiring, that, I feel like I have found that in umpiring, and that's relieving to me. But the brotherhood is, it's an awesome thing, and it's something that, I strive to keep throughout the rest of my life. And if I can find that here, then that's an awesome thing.
Getting here and getting welcomed right off the plane, we're seeing the instructors. They're wearing camouflage, and there was one in particular that stuck out of my mind right away. He came in, he gave me a big hug, and I noticed that on his forearm he had a Marine Corps tattoo. And then right off the bat, I was like, I'm in the right place with good people.
These particular Marines were selected really based on a sales pitch. We put out there what we wanted to do. We kind of told them that they are a good fit and how they rotate out of the Marine Corps, need some transition. A lot of guys just want to feel like their skills are useful. And once we told them that their skills as a basic Marine was useful, these guys stepped up and said, I want to give this a shot.
I was actually coming back from leave, and my company commander talked to me directly about this, about getting the opportunity to come out here and learn how to umpire. I talked to him, you know, casually about baseball. He knew I was a baseball fan. And so when he brought this to me, I was like, absolutely, I absolutely want to do this.
As a kid and as a young adult, I would watch baseball games, and I would see calls, and I would disagree with them, and I would think, hey, I can do that better, and I would want to do that. Of course, I didn't know how to get involved, and I would tell my wife and kids, hey, I want to do that, and this is the perfect opportunity. When I saw that email, hey, this is the opportunity to do this, and here I am, and I said, let's do it.
Infield fly, batter's out of fair.
All right, there we go.
Always had a passion for the sport of baseball. Played baseball for since I can remember growing up, all the way until I went to the Marine Corps. Physically, probably body won't let me do it, you know, as much as I want to anymore. But being involved with the sport gives me a chance to be involved with the youth, you know, of America coming up. It gives me a chance to give back there and still be a part of the sport, and that's probably the main reason. When the chance to come out here and take part in this became available to me through Wounded Warriors, I jumped at it, looked at it as a blessing.
And I thought this would be a great opportunity to stay involved in something that I grew up loving.
It also gives them the transition, gives them an opportunity to use some of their skills and discipline and leadership and integrity to umpire the game of baseball. As an umpire, you kind of protect the integrity of the game. Integrity is one of the most important leadership traits of a Marine, and we know it very well.
And it's also a transferable job anywhere in the country. So if they move from North Carolina to Iowa, we can get them games and assigners there. They can be set to go day one, they can get their schedule.
This is going to change your life. It's not going to make you any taller, it's not going to make you any better looking, but it's going to change your life as it relates to baseball, because once you become an umpire, the game changes. And I've talked to some of the umpire candidates here, the Marines, and they're saying the same thing now, that they didn't know there was so much to the game and how much more interesting baseball is now.
I felt like I knew baseball, but then getting here and getting all this information, I realized, you know, how much I really didn't know.
It's like learning a whole new sport. I felt like I knew the sport of baseball to a T from playing Legion and Caba and high school baseball, and then you come in and you learn that you really knew nothing about the sport.
It looks simple on TV, and there's a lot more to it than calling players out and batter runners out. There's a lot more to it than that, and there's a lot more. There's things of where you need to be and what you're looking at, and simple. It's attention to detail.
I haven't really been a baseball enthusiast, as un-American as that may sound. This was kind of my first official introduction to baseball. Never had much of an interest, but after the experience here and all the information that they've given us and the knowledge, the things I've learned, I'm definitely an enthusiast now. I'm looking forward to getting out there doing it.
It's a lot coming at you. It's a lot of information, but we're getting practical application directly afterwards. So we're learning something, and then we're able to do it. And I think that's so helpful, because it's one thing to learn something from a book, but when you're actually out there doing it and you're seeing it, and you can see how it all ties together. It's so helpful.
Safe, bobble.
I can't describe how much how well this course is being presented.
The staff has been excellent as far as explaining everything easy in an easy to understand way. I've learned a ton that I didn't know from start to finish.
The classes, the way they facilitated the classes, the structure that they had doing it, going through the lesson portions, and then the practical application portion has been outstanding. I've definitely learned a whole lot about baseball in a short period of time.
It's amazing how much you can learn in a short period of time, and the awesome staff that we've had here has been amazing at breaking things down for us.
The instructors have been great. They've all been conscious of us in our particular situations, be it awareness of us in crowds, or awareness of some of the medical conditions, awareness of some of the physical limitations. They've all been extremely concerned and paid attention to that while facilitating the process of teaching us to become umpires and making sure that we get the best education that we can during the process here. I couldn't ask for a better experience. It's been great.
these instructors are giving us what we need, how we need it, and I can't say thank you more.
It's just a delight to watch these guys light up when they learn something, and they're highly motivated. They're Marines, they're hard chargers, they're gonna get it done. They're gonna adapt and overcome and make the necessary adjustments. That's how they've been raised in the Corps.
We do make great students. From day one in boot camp, we're told what to do, when to do it, how to do it, how long to do it, and when to stop. It's a learning experience from day one when you're in the Marine Corps.
The attitude is the most impressive part. We put on clinics all over the country, the staff here, and normally when we tell somebody to do something, we hear, yeah, but I've always done it this way, or yeah, but. These guys, yes sir, let's do it, I'm gonna fix it. And just the attitude's impressive on every single guy here.
So it develops a great student, a listener, but it also develops a leader. And that's what you need out on the baseball field. So to bring them in as students, it's a natural segue for them.
So they're perfect umpires. I don't know anybody that's going to mess around with a Marine behind the plate. That'd be looking for some trouble, I would think. Most of these guys have been deployed, they've been in combat, so I think working a baseball game is not going to be that tough for them.
So it's a good fit for Marines to be umpires, and it's even a better fit for Wounded Warriors to become umpires and have this program.
It's something that really opened my eyes, because prior to my captain talking to me about this, I hadn't really thought about this. And I was really terrified of what I was going to do once I transitioned out of the Marine Corps. It's all I've done since I've been an adult. So I was scared. I was nervous. I wasn't sure if going to school or going directly into the workforce. But I feel like this would be a great segue into both. Like, I can umpire and I can still go to school, and hopefully work my way up the level. And I would love to be a collegiate umpire eventually.
The program becoming available through the way that it did, like I said, it's a blessing, because I don't know if I would have even pursued being an umpire. I was looking at being a coach in the local area for a baseball team, for a little league team in the Richlands area near Camp Lejeune. But as far as being an umpire, until I seen it come up through Wounded Warriors programs, and when it came up, I hadn't even thought about it. Wanted to stay involved in the sport, but hadn't even thought about it. And now that I had taken advantage of the offer, it means the world. It's awesome.
This is actually a career changer. I was going to go and actually work on motorcycles, and because of this and here and doing this, I've actually disenrolled from motorcycle mechanics, and this is now going to be my career path, regardless of where it takes me. So that's how much of a life changer this experience has been.
Definitely something I'm looking forward to, another extension of what I like to do with the kids, and I think this was a great addition to my toolbox.
Hey, ball!
The goals going forward are to advertise this more heavily, see if we can't get Battalion West involved.
Our goal is to every year have one major clinic here in Denver, and then 4 traveling clinics where we actually go to a base and put on clinics and train the veterans or the active duty military right where they are, so they don't have to leave and we come to them.
And eventually, we want to run our own baseball tournament, have these guys umpire that baseball tournament for the entire armed services.
A big tournament, an armed forces style tournament in the future, where umpires that we train are running that situation. I think that would be amazing. That would be an awesome thing for us to achieve.
This is just something that I think has unlimited potential.
It's exceeded my expectations. We've learned a lot. We've made some mistakes that we've corrected. I think we're making a great impact on these Marines' lives moving forward.
It was better than we could have ever imagined. When these guys showed up the first day, they were asking questions like, how many balls does the batter get before he goes to first base? Is he allowed to overrun first base? And today these guys are going to work an actual game. They're nervous, they're excited, it's going to be interesting, and I tell them every day, it's about the mistakes you make. That's how you learn how to be a better umpire. And these guys are fired up and they're ready to get out there and see what real baseball looks like.
This week has been very inspirational, not only for the Outliers, but I see it in the faces of the Marines. They knew each other back at the battalion. Some of them actually communicated with each other, maybe hung out a couple of times, but now they're kind of creating a new bond as a Marine and an umpire, and I guarantee these 14 will share that bond for the rest of their lives.
It means the world. I wouldn't have this chance anywhere else.
One word, amazing.
This was my first Wounded Warrior trip, my first trip as a Wounded Warrior, and the experience that we had when we arrived here would rival any experience that I had from any return, from any deployment or exercise that I've been on. I mean, the welcome was overwhelming. Everything from getting on the plane to being welcomed when we first touched down in Colorado, and the way they facilitated our movement throughout the process since we've been here.
I had never thought about this as a viable option, but now that I'm here, you know, and I'm seeing where this can go and what I can do and how I can give back to the youth, I mean, I can't explain how thankful I am for this opportunity.
Just to all the staff and to everybody that made this possible, everybody that has contributed, I would say thank you from the bottom of my heart and from all the Marines that are here. I speak for all of us when I say thank you, and you don't know how much it means to us to be able to do things like this. So thank you.